Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are going to be talking about what I feed my Tegus. Since that's been a hot topic lately in my videos, especially talking with Ty Park about dog food, I thought I would talk about what I feed my Tegus. And this is not meant to sort of be like, this is what you should feed them. It's like, this is what I do. There's plenty of other things you could feed them besides what I'm going to talk about today. I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I do. And this doesn't mean that this won't change in the future as well. I am pretty much wrapped up my semester, so I know we had a little bit of a break there. But I am back in full force. Stay tuned because the next 3 or 4 months I will be posting almost every day, probably starting next week. One last thing before we get started, if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the community. We got a lot of subscribers since I've been away, and I'm just really thrilled that you decided to subscribe and be a part of this community, so welcome. There'll be a lot of content moving forward, and if you haven't, check that lower right hand corner and hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications when I post more updates. And hit that bell notification to know when I post more updates. Alright, first off, we're going to be talking about the inverts I have fed or am feeding my my Tegu. I have not tried this yet. We are going to do this today, but I have some waxworms. This is fine for Tegus. I wouldn't do it ordinarily, just kind of as like a little treat to mix in. So I'm going to put some of these in there today. They're pretty small, so they're kind of just going to be sort of some seasoning on top, if you will. Something I've been adding on recently is super worms. There's not that many in here since I fed most of them, but they were mostly gut loading in here off of the Fluker's high calcium cricket diet. As you know, lately I've been pretty big on diversifying my reptiles' diets, be it, that gout discussion we had and stuff like that. So I decided to add in some super worms. That's also why I, got these wax worms. But the real staple I give my Tegu is dubia roaches. Dubia roaches are great feeders. These are gut loading as well for tomorrow. I give them about the 1 inch to 1.25 inch sized roaches. 1.5 maybe if it's not an adult yet at that point. But 1 inch plus, but sub-adult, that's usually what I feed. Gut load it for all these invertebrates pretty much for 2 days, and then I feed them. Some of these are also for my other reptiles, like my dubia roaches pretty much end up in all my reptiles' mouths at some point except my tortoise. And probably super worms too, but this is definitely part of my Tegu's diet. As for meats, the main thing I love to feed them are these turkey hearts, livers, and gizzards. Mostly these hearts right here because they're the healthier of the three. The livers actually are a little fatty, so I try to not give them as much, and sometimes I'll get rid of them to focus more on the hearts. Those are the real nutrition item there. Like I said, livers are a little fatty. I also add in some ground turkey and ground chicken. This I wouldn't offer too frequently because it could lead to loose stools. Same thing with adding in some egg yolk, but we'll talk about that later. But these are great. He loves both of these, and I definitely think they're good to add in. Again, or not really again, but you want to make sure that, they're as organic as can be. If you're getting fish, because sometimes I'll feed some tilapia or catfish and stuff like that, you want something that's more of a freshwater fish, something that actually is farm raised. You want to make sure that you're putting the best possible thing into your reptile, basically. So, the more things they talk up on their packaging, the better. I also put in some hard-boiled eggs as well. Soft-boiled eggs are fine, as well as egg yolk. Full eggs are also fine as well for like quail eggs and stuff. I use the egg yolk mostly to make lesser tasting items more appealing, like greens. But I don't do it too much because that can give loose stool, like I mentioned previously. And these I just get at the supermarket. I don't want to really take time when I'm sort of busy to make these out of just regular eggs. But these are fine, they're organic, the best you can get, so I'm happy with them. Now, as for fruits and veggies, I will sometimes give bananas, not too much. I don't think they're that great to put in too frequently. It's sort of as a treat. What he really loves is kiwis. Now, these are organic kiwis. Try to do organic for basically everything. he loves kiwis. And the best part about him is you don't really have to take off like the, you know, you have to chop away sort of the covering, or I don't even know what you want to call it, the outer layer of the kiwi. You could keep that on, just kind of slice it, and they'll just eat it fine perfectly like that. I will also give green bell peppers, or actually any coloring bell peppers, sometimes too. This will be sort of a couple times a week, maybe. But these are great to give hydration to any, you know, animal that's okay to eat them. They hold water really well, and it's a great way to give extra hydration, like I said. Also, I have mangoes. I give organic mangoes to my Tegu. He's not a huge fan of them, but he'll sneak some in. Same with this yellow squash. Not a huge fan of yellow squash. He actually doesn't really like it at all, so I don't know why I keep trying, but I try to keep it a little diverse. He does like butternut squash. That's what's here. I put this in a couple of my reptiles' diets, but he's a fan of this. He doesn't like it too big just because it's a little harder than some other fruits and veggies. Finally, I got my 3 main greens I give him. I give him endives, collard greens, and mustard greens. I recommend adding in a few more than that, but that's mostly what I've been able to get, so that's mostly what I've been giving them. Now, like probably any Tegu out there, he doesn't like his greens. So I definitely recommend getting like a food processor and just shredding that stuff up to almost microscopic levels. Not really, but you get what I'm saying. Because it's just gonna adhere to any meats you put in there, especially ground turkey and chicken, and it'll just sneak in with those meats that he's trying to eat. And I'll show you what I do with mine, how I grind it up. But it's just a great way to add it to their diet, because greens are very important, and not a lot of people focus so much on greens. Just like a human, greens are amazing. So you want to make sure it gets in their diet, even if you have to be a little sneaky about it. So I'll show you how I grind up some greens, and we'll make them a little platter today, and that will be our video. So I do like to take whatever meats I'm giving them, in this case it's the turkey hearts, livers, and gizzards, and just heat them up right before I put them in there. Not too hot, but they sort of enjoy, or actually not sort of, they definitely enjoy, you know, warmer food, so I like doing that just right before I give it to them. Alright, so this is the food processor I use. I basically just take some of the greens I want to give, wash it out, throw it in there. I chop them up just a little bit, just to make it a little bit easier, and then I just kind of go like this, and hit low, kind of tap it, chop it up, very fine. And obviously my Tegu's a little bit smaller than, or not a little bit, a lot smaller than adult Tegu's, so you probably don't even need to chop it up this fine when you're, you know, referring to adults. But gets it really good. I'm actually really happy about this purchase. It was only like $30, and it just works great. Alright, so I threw in the greens that are chopped up. I like putting them in first so they have more of a possibility to adhere to anything else I throw in. Gonna throw in some of the meats. Now, what I like to do with the meats is, obviously, you know, meats are great for your Tegu, but as Ty Park said in the interview the other day, you know, they prefer meat more than anything else. So I always like to skimp a little bit on the meats each time. Through observing your Tegu, you can see how much meat they ordinarily will eat, and based off of that, you could put a little bit of less and make them more inclined to eat some of the other things that are like the fruits or whatever. You want them to eat more than just meat, so I think it is good to pay attention to how much your Tegu eats, and then offer just a little less for the meats, and have them, you know, choose from some of the other things in there. Alright, so here's the meal for today. We got the chicken hearts, livers, and gizzards. We have some kiwis in there. We have the bottom layered with a bunch of endives, and we have a bunch of waxworms. So now I'm just gonna spin it around a little bit, and the final step to put it all together, some calcium. Hi, Frappuccino. Ready for some food? Alright guys, let's give it the Frappuccino. Oh, right down there. We'll see how long it takes them to find it. No, this is not coming out time. Oh, spotted. A flop. Yep. Oh, almost a tail whack. And going in for the kill. There he goes. Yep, so those are just some of the things that, you know, I feed my Tegu. There's a ton of things you can feed these guys, so I definitely recommend Googling, and I'll put some down below like I mentioned. But yeah, that's it, guys. Right now, I'm currently feeding him every day, but he is getting to be a big boy, and around 4 or 5 pounds, which I have to imagine he's getting close to, but maybe my judgment's off. I'm probably going to switch to every other day, so I believe that should come soon. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. I'll see you guys later this week, and stay tuned for more content. Thanks, guys. Oh, subscribe and hit the bell notification. Bye.